pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
And hey, what is up, Big Boneyard Boneheads? What is up? I guess this is how you call it, part two. We're doing a part two. We did a part two.
Remix.
Yeah, right. Like if you carry the one, if you do the math right. But anyway, we back here again. So welcome to the Big Boneyard, everybody. We did a joint show with Hollywood from Insane Throttle and Mike Ball and China Doll came through, joined in with us. It was a very cool thing. We chopped it up. It was a good show. We were talking about bikers and the media in 2023, basically the perception and so forth. And like, basically, what is it good for? And great conversation, as we say around here, that conversation had a lot of legs. We went in a lot of different directions with it. And so by the way, y'all, I ain't trying to be too cool or nothing like that. I'm wearing these glasses because I went to the eye doctor for the first time in my life a few days ago, and they poked and prodded and did all kinds of weird shit. So I'm seeing funny in the lights and all like that. But anyway, but that's what's going on with that. But hey, y'all, thanks for joining us again here on the Big Boneyard. Of course, you got myself, Big Bone, and as always, Archbishop, sir. It's good to see you, sir. Proper greetings for a change. And we also have Mr. Frost. Frost, what's up, brother?
What's good?
And we see all the folks in Miami. Hello, ma'am. And Nicole Bell, the Trump Reaper. The Trump Reaper, you've become one of my favorite folks, man, because I love the shit you say, and I love that name. You know, we go on and on with that. Ghost Eagle, what's up, Ghost? Ghost. Remember, he said a show called Space Ghost, and he goes, Space Ghost. We got to come up with something like that for Ghost Eagle, but, you know, instead of Space Ghost, he's a Ghost Eagle. Yeah, I don't know. We got to work on that. Something like that. But hey, but what's up, folks? So the media, that's what we've been talking about. It was kind of cool a minute ago. Actually, before we get into it, which we didn't do, we were on somebody else's show, and we discussed these things amongst ourselves before the show. But for our purposes, Archbishop, you could help us out with that disclaimer, sir.
You know, we got the regular disclaimer, which means what we talk about is our opinions alone. Don't have anything to do with any prospective clubs or anything like that. This is our opinions, based on our time being out here, knowledge to the subject, and facts. You know what I mean? That's what we putting out here, facts.
That part. And if anything is said incorrectly, please blame Frost. It is his fault. We warned him ahead of time, so it's his fault. And that thing that you said about that man's sister, we told you not to say that.
And I meant it too.
Hey, but I tell you what though, but we actually had a great time on Hollywood show. It was one of the Insane Throttle shows. I think that was Hollywood and Mike. But it was a good show. Man, it felt good because they gave us a lot of props, man, and it's kind of good to hear somebody who's, you know, your peers in the industry or what have you, to kind of, you know, try to blow your head up a little something. But, you know, they said some good stuff about us, man. And it's good for us to be reminded of the fact that, hey, we might be doing something kind of right. You know, we're putting out some good info. It felt, you know, felt a little good, you know, and I think they were being genuine with it.
I mean, if you think about it now, you know, Hollywood and Mike Ball, they've been around for a long time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
For them to call and want us to do a show with them, and for the props that they gave us, you know, stuff that we was putting out there, you know, that's mind blowing there. You know what I mean? Right. I mean, it does mean that we're doing something right, but that also means we got to keep pushing in the direction that we're going.
Yeah,
Else is leading somewhere.
Oh yeah, and you know, and my thought, I think our regular back and forth is like the secret sauce, and And then honestly, between you, me, and Frost, Frost is like, how do you say it? Frost is like herpes. He is always there, whether you like it or not. I'm just playing. I just said that for real
You
because
see how he
I
does
heard her
me?
laugh.
Y'all see this?
No, for real though, is that the element? I think we got the right ingredients, and I think it's going to work. Gotta work. I should be speaking in past tense. I think the reason that it does work is because of the fact that, like Archbishop, you always say this. Hey, we're people first. Yeah, we're bikers. Yeah, we're I guess we're a part of the media now, but we're actually people who actually notice some stuff. We actually give a fuck about what's going on out there in the world, which means it's probably some other folks that give a fuck too. So when we give folks the opportunity, and one of the big things that I've actually noticed is the big boneyard between the Facebook group, the show, and even Discord. Our folks, the boneheads, actually have a voice that people actually, people want to be heard. So we're saying some stuff that folks want to say. We're saying some stuff that people want to hear, but then uh, they're being heard too. And sometimes we'll talk for you, sometimes we'll speak to you, but it's an open dialogue. So this is your house too. So this is the house of the boneheads, man, and we appreciate it.
I
But
mean, how many times have we heard, Bone, that it's like, well, you guys are journalists and y'all dealing with news. I'm like, and we tell them straight out, I'm not a journalist. I'm a realist.
right, that part.
I'm not here
That
to report news. I'm here to tell you the facts. You know what I mean?
part. And that's the biggest difference. That's a huge, and I think some people miss that. They don't really get because I get it. People, a lot of folks don't even watch TV no more. So we're in that same medium, that we're in that same platform where people get their news, right? And we're in that same platform, a similar platform where people get their entertainment. That don't mean that I'm Mike Wallace and you're Geraldo Rivera all of a sudden. That don't mean that Frost is what's that dude that used to work with Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen. That don't mean that Frost is Jimmy Olsen, right? He's like, damn, Jimmy Olsen. Understand. They actually do look alike.
Look,
Got an
you notice
AARP.
he got on these glasses tonight, trying to hide that Sammy Davis Jr. eye he got going on.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, somebody didn't tell you. Yeah, I got it. He got me with the junior. Yeah.
Now I do want to I
Right.
do want to say one thing real quick. I do apologize to everybody about being behind on getting the show up on Discord. I know we're episodes behind. We've been having technical difficulties forever now, trying to get all that worked out. But as soon as we get it all worked out, I'll get everything caught up, get it all back onto the Discord. And there is a question and answer chat on there. So if you got any questions, you can get them answered on there. If you'd rather have them on the show, then just say, hey, I got a question for the show or whatever, and we can handle it that way too.
Dude, I like Discord. And of course, but like if I could echo what you're saying, Discord, I love it, but the thing I love even more is being able to, and Bishop, tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure you get it too, but there's rarely a day that goes by that we don't get a really cool ass question, and sometimes it's serious shit where somebody's in dire straits. They're dealing with something like within their club, and they've got big boy concerns, and they're going to say, hey, I need to ask you this. This ain't for the show, but such and such, here's my question. How do we do that? And sometimes it's like, hey, it's some sort of thing that everybody might want to know. But the neat thing is that we get to do it. We get to help folks. So
I think the more humbling thing to that, to what you just said, is that you have people that feel free enough that they can come to us and ask us those questions.
Yeah.
And with the expectation that they're going to get the correct answer.
Yeah.
Not some some filtered bullshit.
Right. And that makes a huge difference, because the thing one dude told me, because I think when we first got going, and folks would send these questions and so forth. And I used to always wonder, man, I wonder, that's a kind of deep question. I wonder why they asked, me. If it's somebody that you don't know, somebody from fucking Idaho or something, and they're asking this question, it's a deep question. I'm like, damn, I wonder why. And finally, about, I don't know, four months in or something like that, dude told me, hey, I have this question and I can't talk to the brothers in my chapter about this because this is something I need to know. Or another dude said, well, I need to ask somebody because I need an objective opinion about this subject. And every time it was something kind of serious, And I know you and I have worked on a couple of them together. I'm like, man, did you get this message? All right, let's go over it and we talk about it and then shoot them the information. One of the big reasons why we do that, and we'll get back to the subject at hand in a second, but one of the big reasons we do that is because one of the big motivations to start this show was there's a certain content creator, I'll call him, who someone reached out to this one dude and the guy said, I'm a sergeant arms, a new sergeant arms for my club. And a lot of y'all know who I'm talking about. He said, I'm a new sergeant arms for my club and I've never done this job before. Do you have any advice for me? And this certain content creator on YouTube told this dude, well, your biggest job is to protect your president. And so when y'all out and about, make sure you protect him. One of the number one things is 1%ers. If you see him talking, especially 1%ers, and whoever he's talking to starts moving their hands around a lot, that's a signal to his guys that they're going to beat up your president. And the only way for you to be respected is you get over there and whoever that is talking to him and they moving their hands, he goes, you knock him the fuck out. You beat his ass, knock him the fuck out. That's what you do. That way they're going to know what time it is and you protected your president and people are going to respect you for it. Like a week later, dude hit him back on the show, called in. Like, hey, man, that bullshit you told me about, it was bullshit. Not only did they beat me up, they kicked me out of my club, said I lost my damn mind and everything else. And now I'm in all kinds of trouble behind this. And people want to do bad stuff to me because of that shit that you told me. This dude looked right in the camera and said straight up, oh, no, dog, you didn't listen to me. You didn't do it right. You're supposed to have intention when you did it. You're supposed to do it like you meant that shit. That's why they fucking with you, because you didn't do it the right way. That was about the biggest bunch of bullshit. I was like, how in the fuck? And the problem was people was listening to this dude. And he said that shit. And people was believing him. Even after that bullshit, I'm sure people was still rocking with this idiot because, I don't even know why, but they was listening to this fucking fool. And we're like, man, no, we gotta fix this shit because that's some bullshit. So let's put out some real shit that people can actually benefit from. So that was one of the early motivations of getting it out there. So I didn't want to be no media superstar, and Archbishop wasn't trying to be a doggone, Geraldo Rivera, just saying names, but you know what I'm saying? It's like we just wanted to put out some good information and cut off that bullshit that was out there. So, and it seems like in the process of wanting to do that thing, we touched on a few other good things that help some people, except for Frost, and he cusses a lot. So there's that. But
that's because I can't get y'all together and get y'all set down long enough to get some stuff figured out. It'd be driving me nuts.
We're gonna do it the night after this. We're gonna get this straight. Right. But what you said, Bone, you're absolutely true. Now, I'm gonna go a little bit further than that. They say ignorant is bliss, which means it's a lot more stupid motherfuckers out here than it is people that actually make sense. And I'm not saying make sense as though like other people just don't know shit, because they know shit,
right?
And they're not logical at what they saying,
right?
Because whether you realize it or not, people's answers kind of go along with who they are.
Right.
They don't I try to be this whole time, like the 23 years that I've been dealing with this biker shit. One thing that I learned years ago is that you have to play the middle.
Yeah.
You can't be on this side. You can't be on this side. You got to be in the middle, and you got to be objective.
Right.
And
big facts.
Right. And no matter what's being told to you, you got to make your decisions, and you got to give your answers based on the fact that even though I may be your friend, I may be your friend, but I got to speak and I got to act accordingly. You know what I mean? I can't take your side, and I can't take your side. I got to be in the middle, and I got to be optimistic to both sides. That's not what goes on these days.
Right.
Take, for example, we just did this other show with Hollywood and Mike Ball, which once again, we appreciate y'all having us on the show.
Definitely.
We need to actually do that again. That's actually a good, us four make a good round table for real.
Yeah. I swear I was thinking that.
All right. I mean, so if y'all watching right now, y'all heard me say it. I think that'd be a good round table discussion. But if some people, I know some people was on our Boneyard page looking at the messages that was coming through.
Yeah.
But some of the ones on the other side though was some fucked up shit. Now, like I said in there,
you saw some of that.
Yeah, when we was talking about the evolution of people, and we were saying about time people then kind of evolve, but then I also said that there was a certain fraction of people that's still on that bullshit. There was a couple of them that was on there that was just speaking just straight ignorant shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that was one.
I was surprised.
That was one of the reasons why I even agreed to like do the show with you. It wasn't because me and you was cool. It was because, you know what I mean? Like, number one, I think, you know, based on and what I know, we can come together and we can talk about a lot of different shit.
Yeah.
You know, and cover a little bit of everything. You know, you don't. It kind of goes along with the saying being a jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
A little bit of information about everything, so that in any conversation that you in, and with any particular people that you with, you're able to conform yourself to hold that particular conversation based on whatever information or whatever conversation that may be coming your way. Now, but ignorance is just ignorance, you know. And one thing that I can't stand more than anything is ignorance. Not because people don't know, not that type of ignorance. I'm talking about ignorance being the fact that you know the difference between right and wrong, and you still choose to be ignorant, and you still choose to say ignorant shit.
Oh yeah,
that's what burns my ass. You know what I mean? Because that's the shit. Because you think about it, this person who was on there that was talking that shit on there, they got kids.
Yeah,
they got children.
Oh, it's more than one too.
Oh yeah, and this dude, he said something about Hollywood's wife and something about, you know, said some shit about it. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's just extra with it, right?
Right. You watching the show, you watch Hollywood every week, you watch Mike Ball every week, and then you watch the shit faithfully, but you faithfully come on there and say ignorant shit. For what? For what? You know what I mean? And then you don't put your whole name. See, that's the thing about social media, because you can go on there and you can fake the funk on some shit, and you can make, you can be whoever the fuck you want to be. You know what I mean? You can go on Facebook and talk like you the hardest motherfucker in the world, but in all actuality, you living at your mom's house in the basement making rubber dicks to sell on eBay. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you can be whoever you want to be in the media.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're in social media, so you can be as tough as you want to be, even though you may be softer than fucking grapes. You may not throw a brick in a fucking blackout, but you can sit on here and disrespect a fucking woman on here for nothing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that shit behooves me. I digress.
Yeah, no, look, that ain't nothing but the gospel. So whoever that Williams got, let me see, what was his name? That one Steve Williams guy. Yeah, Steve Williams. Yeah, this dude, I don't know. I mean, I understand, you know, the homosexual frustrations that Stephen Williams has, are manifesting itself on YouTube. I figure what he would probably need to do is just go out there, meet a nice gentleman who is, you know, confused about a lot of things like he is. That'll make his life better. That's what he should do, you know. And if he likes to, you know, get it real hard, and if that'll make him feel better, maybe that's what he ought to do, and stay the fuck off of YouTube and go out there and have him a life. Because here, you know, we're just convening, converting, you know, like we're chopping it up about the shit that we want to do. If he doesn't like this kind of stuff, he doesn't like this biker stuff, and he prefers that extremely homosexual gay relationships is what's necessary to make him happy, then maybe that's what he ought to do.
Right. I mean,
leave folks alone.
And shit, if you want to be a cockhold, then be a cockhold. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You know, we don't blame him. You know, that's his thing. That's what he ought to do. You know, and but
I think him and that ML dude's buddies.
But don't be disrespecting no woman though.
Right, exactly. Because
that's where you draw the line. Not like
that was the ML dude. That wasn't a Steve dude.
Yeah, but you know, that wasn't cool though. No matter how you splice it and dice it, what did that man's wife have to, you know, what did she do that was so wrong that he had to come at her like that?
On a show that you loyally support at that.
Yeah, I was taken aback by that, you know. But you know, I digress. But going back to the subject at hand, so bikers in the media. So I guess by accident, we done fucked around and became the media. I didn't see that coming, but I guess we might be the media. But you know, the cool thing about it is like this. And by the way, we want to hear the phone number is shit. I can't see shit.
310-870-8994.
What he said is the phone number. So if y'all want to hit us up, I can't see shit. But if y'all want to hit us up,
310-870-8994.
Gotta make the old person face and do that whole you know, like one of them things. Break out my magnifying shades still. Shit, I got a magnifying glass and look at that shit. I got one of them. Got a magnifying glass and everything while y'all bullshitting. Shit. I'm gonna fight blindness like a kung fu fighter.
We're talking about the media. Since we're talking about the media, and of course, being the fact that we doing, you know, this show, then you know, people would say technically that you are media because you are doing an actual show and you talking about stuff that's going on outside this. I mean, our world.
Yeah,
which is technically true. The only difference is that we're not going to sugarcoat the shit,
right?
And we're going to talk to you about the stuff that's going on that the actual mainstream media is not going to talk to you about,
right?
So, I mean, just think about this week as to what else went on that you heard about in the news as opposed to what you out there really.
No, I'm glad you said that. So let me jump in there. Media. So here's the thing. I've been hearing about, so look, well, I'm a big 2A fan, right? I believe, even though I believe that the Second Amendment says one thing and is applied differently, I believe in the, excuse me, like they say in, my lawyer friends always say, the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law is that people should be able to be armed and protect themselves should they need to. You know, I think that some of our friends far to the right have taken it far to, you know, like out to outrageous extremes. I think some of the people far to the left are fucking idiots. But real America, real people live somewhere in the middle. But having said that, I've been listening to for years, you know, lock her up and Hillary this and the emails that. But then when Ivanka did the same shit, it was like, where's that button? Not a word. So now these folks have been so pissed off about, you know, we've been hearing about Hunter Biden this and Hunter Biden that. Hunter Biden is not the president and don't work for the White House. However, they said we're going to impeach the president because Hunter Biden lied about his gun application. So I don't know if these folks realize it or not. And I'm a Second Amendment fan, but stop. You know, you got such a hard on for Hunter Biden that you're now going to say, oh, well, he tried to get a gun. Aren't you folks supposed to be on the side of the Second Amendment? Aren't you the same folks who don't want universal background checks or any of this kind of stuff? But now you're going to come at Hunter Biden about a gun application? You can't have it both ways. Either you want people to leave you alone about the guns, or you want to go after Hunter Biden because of the gun situation. Pick a team and stick with it. Don't be hypocrites. It's one or the fucking other. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that nobody's talking about. I haven't heard not word the first. That's one of the things you do, Archbishop, that I love. You always say, what are they not talking about? And I've literally, I say, hey, I've taught some stuff, but I've learned some stuff. The thing I learned from you is, what are they not talking about? And that's the thing they're not talking about. How can you get all crazy about Hunter Biden because he wanted to get him a firearm, but at the same exact time, you keep arguing with people about the fact that people should be able to have their firearms? So just stop it. Pick a team and don't be hypocritical. Just stop that. But that's a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying?
They're mad because people's impeaching the Pumpkin King right now and getting him on all his charges. So they got to point it in the other direction. But see, that's where everything's messed up. It's all about red versus blue, Dem versus Republican, Trump versus Biden. None of that matters. None of them care. None of them make a difference. You are not the top 1%, so you are not even in their scope on a normal day-to-day basis. Stop worrying about all that and start worrying about all the other stuff. Like you guys have said many times before, worry about your local stuff first, because that's what's going to impact you. None of that stuff is nothing. And we don't even choose the president. We don't get to go and decide, hey, we want this guy. No, they give you a couple people and let you choose the lesser of the two evils. That's the way it normally works.
I think it was Martin Luther King, and then it was echoed later on. And if somebody knows better, please correct me. But I think it was Martin Luther King and then JFK that said all politics are basically local, as in local politics are the thing. And don't get me wrong, of course, there's a president and senators and all this kind of jazz, but most people are affected by what's going on down the street. Did they fix that stop sign? Is the pipes leaking? Is the bus on time? Is there potholes on my way to work? How much am I paying for a loaf of bread? Like that type of shit. Is my kid getting a good education in school? All that's local shit.
Speaking of kids, did y'all hear about the child support people getting caught keeping the money inside and not even giving it to the mothers that you're actually paying child support for?
Shut up.
Otherwise you go to jail. And not only that, check this out. If you are unemployed in the United States, the federal law states that you are to pay a $50 a month maximum if you're unemployed, right? But federal law, child support, if you are unemployed, the most you have to pay is $50 a month. Where they get you is state law trumps that and says, hey, we can do this or that and blah, blah, blah. Like here in North Carolina, perfect example. They say that they cannot incarcerate you beyond 30 days for child support, right? So you go in front of that judge, they tell you indefinite incarceration. Now, what that means is every 30 days, they're going to put you in front of a judge so you can spend another 30 days after that, and it becomes a new sentence. And it's their way of keeping you in there until that child support is paid. But they want you to pay it, but you're locked up, so you can't pay it.
Right.
They ain't got no system to help you do none of that stuff. And if you set it up, you're the bad guy.
I showed this last night. I was moving around my office, packing up some stuff and moving some stuff and all like that. Came across some old papers, and I was showing her this last night. I had this is old child support order, and I have two daughters, and me and the ex-wife, she didn't, for some reason, nobody hit her in a bus yet. I don't know why, or hit her with a bus. Or pardon me, I didn't say it right. Nobody has hit my ex-wife with a bus yet, is what I meant to say. But in the meantime, we were looking at the old child support order, and the one this was the first one. When I remember when I got it, I almost passed the fuck out, and I was making a little bit of dough. But that first order was $4,000 a month. I have two daughters, $4,000 a month. That was that first order. And it took a long time for me to convince them motherfuckers that I was not, F. Lee Bailey or some other rich motherfucker on the planet. It took a long time to finally get it knocked down to under 2,000, then down to 1,200. But long story short, that shit was crazy, because the way that works, and now we're in Florida, and the way it works in Florida is if they say you owe this much money and it takes you 3 to 6 months to get them to change the number, you still owe for those times while they
The arrears.
Yeah, you owe that. And yeah, so that took a minute. And I showed her, because I had been bitching about that. It's been many years ago, but I'm still bitching about that because I owed thousands of dollars at one point because somebody said that I was rich.
Dude, I got locked up over a kid that wasn't even mine.
I never liked that.
Wasn't even mine.
Never liked that.
The DNA test came back, said it wasn't mine. And I still ended up having to serve court and go to jail and all that stuff because I refused to pay. I was like, I ain't paying for a kid that ain't mine.
Check it. In Florida, there was a cop, and this is in I want to say in 2005, a police officer with Tampa Police Department. He was messing with this chick, and I knew him and some of his family members at the time. I used to teach him how to shoot at the range. But anyway, so he got hit with a child support order for his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend, they had split up. She dumped him, and because her uncle said that he was the wrong guy and blah 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 and this, that, and other thing. Long story short, the uncle was not the uncle. The uncle was the boyfriend, and she didn't find this out until her disgruntled sister decided to squeal and tell everything. Hey, that ain't your kid. That ain't her uncle. That's not my uncle. That's her man. And da 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 da. So he got the DNA test. Wasn't his kid, but guess what? He got stuck because his name was on the birth certificate. They didn't give a damn about DNA or nothing else. This dude paid child support until that kid was 18 years old. And it is 2023. The kid turned 18 about, I want to say 2015. No, 2017 or something like that was when the kid turned 18. And this dude is not, and he's a cop, gets nothing back. His name is still on the birth certificate, and he is not the baby's father. And it's what it is. And he had to pay child support that whole entire time as a cop. And they was taking a pretty penny from his ass too.
But even through all these years, when this kind of goes back to what we was talking about previously. Through all these different presidents that we done had, and we done had Biden, we done had Trump, we done had Obama, we done had Bush and Bush Light. Now, the child support never been changed. Nobody has never went through and modified it. None of that. It's always been targeted for the. It's never been help for the guys at all. Everybody that's on child support is automatically conceived to being deadbeats, and you ain't about shit because you didn't stay with her, even though she may be trashy as fuck, but you ain't stay with us, and you're gonna pay for these kids. That's what it is. But
and they give the custodial parent, which is typically the wife or the woman or the ex, whatever, that woman, she gets an attorney, actually 2 attorneys that they pay for. In Florida, I don't know about North Carolina, but in Florida, they pay for her attorney to get in your ass.
Exactly.
And you got to pay.
I mean, there is no win there, and it's never been, out of all these presidents that we got on here, and none of them never went back and fixed that shit. But here's the thing, though. This is the point I'm getting at. Now, we're all sitting here in a situation now where you're sitting here, you worried about these political, you worried about who's running for president, who's going to be the president, or whatever. And how we was talking about in the other show, and I've said on there,
that's what I said earlier. No programs, nothing
about us whatsoever. Nothing. Don't give a fuck about us. Now, but how is it that you are 2020 on the presidential election, but you Ray Charles when it comes to your local shit?
Wow.
Meaning you have no idea. You don't know who your fucking mayor is. You don't know who your city council members are. You don't know who who your congressional leaders are. You don't know who none of them are. The only thing you worried about is Trump and fucking Biden. Trump and Biden don't give a fuck about neither one of y'all. Yep. It's these people here, your mayor, your city council meeting member, your congressman for your particular district. These are the ones that you should be talking to. These are the ones that you should be knowing who they are. Like, you go in there and vote, and other than voting for Trump and Biden, you be going through the list and you don't know who the fuck none of these people are.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if you pick Republican or Democrat, they're only going to show you all the Republicans, and they're only going to show you all the Democrats. Unless you say you're independent, then they show you both. So you just going through just picking shit. Half the time, you don't even know who the fuck you even picking.
Oh yeah, some people say I like in the COC was it year before last? In 2020 we did nominations for every office that we could vote on, from the president on down to the damn dog catcher, right? And I was surprised, and we had a lot of candidates from both sides, Republicans and Democrats alike. We had one independent that showed up for city council, but everybody else was a Republican or a Democrat. And I remember before we had that particular meeting with all these candidates, it was a few folks, just one certain 1%er from a certain club said, "It don't matter who comes here. I know I'm voting red from the top to the bottom. That's what I do." And I remember thinking to myself, okay, well, I guess that's what he's going to do, but we're still going to have these folks come and say their piece. And then those same people, they came out, they talked and, answered questions and that whole thing. And they gave us their pitch and all like that. And then they came out to the following bike night and they met some folks and all like that. The following COC meeting, I was shocked when I tell you that dude who was, I'm voting red from the top to the bottom, it should have changed. It was half and half. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? Because he told me, he says, man, I never really thought like this or knew like that, or I talked to so-and-so and they said this, that, another thing. So then I had to check that out. They kept saying, research it, look it up. So I did. And this dude changed half of his ticket. He was voting for folks, like you just said, he was voting for people that he didn't know shit about. He didn't know nothing about them. He just knew that they was the same party as he was supposed to vote for until he talked to some folks. And he still voted. So half the folks was still red, the other half was blue. And the amazing thing about that is that man, and he was probably in his early 60s. It blew my mind that this dude actually learned something, because he actually talked to a couple of folks and decided, let me take a look. And of course, it was a national election. So like I said, from the president down to the dog catcher, but he looked at everybody with new eyes. So I'm thinking, like you was just saying, if the rest of the world, rest of America anyway, would start doing that, like actually know if you're going to vote for somebody, make sure you know what you're doing, but don't discount and don't brush under the rugs the local politicians. Because like we was talking last week about them damn Nazis, and guess what? The president is not going to help us with Nazis in downtown Orlando and in Kissimmee and all like that. Matter of fact, hey, if y'all want, let me throw that up here right quick. Let's watch that video again right quick, because if y'all didn't watch last week, you'll take a look at it right quick. Y'all with that?
Right.
Here we go.
A weekend in Florida, so a lot of people are going to the theme parks. Only not all of them are going there for good reasons. Just in case you were confused, because I had to blur that, that was Yahtzees flying their flags with their symbols in front of the entrance to Disney World. And that wasn't the only such demonstration in Florida. Just up the road in Altamont Springs, this happened. Literally just marching down the street. And this is not the first time it's happened. This is not the second or third time. This has happened multiple times over the past, year and a half, 2 years. And every single time Florida Governor Ron DeSantis doesn't say boo about it, doesn't condemn. You can't stop free speech, but you can say, hey, not welcome here. Don't want you, don't like you. And silence sounds like approval. At least to them it does, because among all their hate symbols, they're always consistently also flying a DeSantis 2024 flag. They do that. The governor says nothing to them. They feel comfortable. Is it also possible that other people felt like, oh, I'm accepted here, like a certain gunman who tried to go to a black college first and then went into a Dollar General and killed 3 black people before taking his own life, and he left behind racist messages and a manifesto? Is it possible that he felt comfortable in part because Florida's governor didn't say shit? I would say the people at the vigil for those who died there certainly seem to think so, because this happened.
Thank you for doing this. I want to just say to the councilwoman.
They booed him. They yelled, "You are not welcome here. Their blood is on your hands." And then State Rep Angie Nixon stood there staring at him while he tried to get his presidential photo op. Thank you, Angie. People like this should not feel comfortable spewing their hate, and we deserve elected officials who translate that message for us, who make it clear this is not welcome in America.
Hey, so 2 things, if we can, let me just to answer a couple of things real quick. We had a question, which was from Jay Wild out of Jay Wild's in Orlando. Right, you're in Orlando, right, Jay? Anyway, he said, Big Bone and Archbishop, which political party do you think is more likely to pass the lane splitting / filtering in Florida? That is the party I want to vote for. Here's where we are. Lane splitting or filtering is lane splitting, merging. They call it different things in different states. We've seen, whereas in some states like in California, and I think they did it in Ohio, and in another state just made it legal. I think it's California, Ohio, and somewhere else. But anyway, ordinarily, it could be up for grabs. Right now in Florida, the problem is we've got a governor who's pretty much an anti-biker kind of guy. So the ultra conservative nature of our governor means that in regard to that subject alone, you got to go with a Democrat for that subject right now. That could very well change depending on who's paying the governor. Right now, the governor is getting money from the state chamber of commerce and the insurance industry. The insurance industry does not support lane splitting. That's who's funding his campaign. So, and him being the head of the Republican Party means that you can't go Republican now if you want that result. So right now that could change based on who decides to support whoever's running the damn state. I mean, if they get extreme like this particular governor has, but for purposes of that subject, I'm not saying be a Democrat, be a Republican. I'm saying specifically for your question right now, that would be Democrats. There was another question. I think you had a second question. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Archbishop. Did you want to delve in on that previous question?
You answered it. You answered it perfectly.
We got a part 2. Oh, no, wait. There was another question. Where the hell did it go? Comment. Just make lane splitting a parent. Douche said, just make lane splitting a parents' rights issue. The governor will sign that shit automatically. I think you're right, brother. I think you hit the nail on the head on that one.
Well, they see it differently here in North Carolina. Like, they define lane splitting as like you're going down the interstate. Filtering, however, would be like at a red light in a work zone, something like that, at a slower speed, basically. you're able to filter up through the stopped cars without getting in trouble. Now, splitting, going down the highway and stuff like that, that's still illegal. But as far as filtering goes, if you're in a work zone, you can do it. Just like a lot of people don't know that you can make that left turn on red in North Carolina because they got what they call a 3-minute law. If you sit at that red light for 3 minutes, because lights don't always change for bikes.
Right.
So if you sit at that light for 3 minutes and it don't change, you're allowed to go ahead and go as long as you yield to oncoming traffic, of course.
Right. It's called, that's being argued right now in Florida. It's called dead red. So dead red is that's going to, so this next legislative session, dead red, which is what you just described, is coming up. And also lane splitting or lane filtering. They're still arguing about the language, but that's coming up as well. The way that it's being packaged and presented now is this, is they're not suggesting that lane splitting be able to happen at 55 miles an hour plus on the interstate. But if you're in traffic, there's a stoplight, you're way back there sitting on your bike's getting hot, you're getting ready to overheat. They're suggesting that you can lane split to get all the way to the front or as far to the front as you can, so that A, your bike is moving a little bit, and B, when the light does turn green, you can filter into traffic and keep it moving. To keep from damage to the bike, damage to yourself, and also to ease traffic, because a motorcycle is only this big and it takes up a whole section of where a couple of cars could be there. You got this bike that's in the way, but if you can lane split, you just made more space, so it eases traffic jams and so forth. So that's the stuff that's coming up in the next legislative session for next year. So we'll see. As it stands, Republicans, not because they just want to do it, but the Republicans have to stand against it, because right now Ron DeSantis says the insurance companies don't want it, therefore they got to do what he says. But again, who knows? We'll find out what happens after these elections and see kind of like where we are at that point. But that's a good one. So that dead red, or that sitting at the stoplight thing, that's a thing, because I know all of us have had to deal with that bullshit.
Look, wearing all black, I'm going to tell you, that has helped a couple times. Being in some leathers and all black in the middle of the summer, sitting there in 103-degree weather, oh my God, I'm not doing it. I'll get off onto the side and I'll ride the ramp. I'll go. I don't care. I'll take the ticket. I ain't doing it.
I'm really hoping that dead red shit gets passed, though, because, Lord, all right, so I'll just tell the truth, shame the devil. I've been doing that for a minute. What I do, I look, if I got a clear shot all the way to the front, and I know to the right and the left, and I'm not going to, especially if I'm on the Harley and I got enough room to slide my ass on up to the front, that's exactly what I do. But dead red would just make that shit legal. That's, I've been doing it.
Right.
That's why I said I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll sit there forever, man. I'm looking. I don't see nobody.
Keep it moving. But yeah, so dead red, I'm going like that. So hopefully, there's like and shit. That's what we ought to do. See if we can get all of those new laws that are being proposed for next year, put them out now and let folks kind of chop it up about them and see like what they think on them. I got a whole list of new laws and new proposals for the next legislative session. So as it relates to bikers, just the biker shit, not like all the stuff, but we could kind of throw it out there and see what people think and see how they want to vote on it and whatnot.
But
oh, good shit.
Even with the bills that they may have, like you have one primary bill. So let's just say, for instance, you have one primary bill on like insurance reform. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the primary bill. But then you have 6-7 earmarks up under that bill that they was, well, we're not going to this. We're not going to sign off on this unless you agree to this. And they yeah. And then when you look at the actual bill, the bill is this damn thick. Ain't nobody reading through all that shit. The only thing they talk about is this bill right here. So once you sign off on this one, then all of these here become legal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
what they do.
That's the fuckery part. on it. You know what I mean? Because
Sir.
you are. But while you paying attention to this, then this bill, and this bill, and this one, because you know this man right here, he's not going to sign on it unless you put, you know, an extra $100,000 into my district for me to do road repair. And this one over here was like, okay, I'm not going to sign off on it unless you give me $300,000 for this, and they just keep adding it on to the bills, So unless you actually sitting there reading through all these bills and actually understand what it is that they're doing, by the time you sign this, then all these other ones come into play too.
Yep.
And if you want to be in politics and you did not like school, I'm sorry, but I hate to tell you, you're going to do a lot of reading and a lot of research to find out what's actually being true and what they just trying to spit out there for public media use. Because they ain't always going to follow through with what they say either.
Right, exactly.
You got to know which ones you can actually stand behind. I know he's always doing something.
I know, but he talking, but his microphone's off, so can't nobody hear what he's saying. You see, and he ain't even realized it yet.
Hey, you hear me now?
Now we got it.
Okay, I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
Archbishop, what you was just talking about, they had a bill a few years ago because some of these people that write these bills and write these bills that become laws were purposely making them so damn confusing and convoluted so that people would just vote by the party and not vote by the issue. They were doing it on purpose. So they actually, in Florida, about 8 years ago or something, they actually had a law saying that the bills had to be in plain English. Like they were not allowed to make them purposely confusing. The fact that they had to make a law to say stop making the bills confusing is kind of fucked up, but it's a good thing. So this right here, I don't know. Let me see if y'all can see that. That is, so I was an election official for precinct 509, which is in Clearwater. And these are for like each year that you did it. I had some other ones, but they fell off. And then this is, like this is the shit that you wear when you go to the damn, when you go to the polls. So that was like the vote thing and da-da-da-da. But anyway, what this shit is so I spent a lot of time, one of my de facto jobs was to get those damn bills and especially the amendments. And I'd have to read those things. And in a non-biased fashion, I had to explain to anybody that asked what that bill actually was for. And I couldn't represent the left, couldn't represent the right. I had to keep that shit factual. Because if you don't do it, and here's a fucked up thing about being an election official, if you are deemed as taking a political position, left, right, independent, whatever, if you're doing something other than that, now my black ass would have got locked up because it's against the law. But when politicians do it, that's just them being politicians. But I actually was employed as an election official, and my ass was on the line. So having said that, I actually had to translate what the hell them crazy ass bills was. And Bishop, you hit the nail on the head. They'll have a damn 2-ounce bill with 72 pounds of pork in it, saying, I need my 300,000 here. I need my 200,000 there. I need my million over there, which don't have shit to do with the bill. Didn't have a damn thing to do with the bill. But you're going to vote on something about keep America's kids safe. You're like, yeah, I'm with that. I want to keep America's kids safe. But over here, it was some other bullshit that didn't have nothing to do with keeping kids safe, probably kept them less safe. But the name of the bill was keep America's kids safe. So you feel good about that. Let's keep the kids safe.
That's why they don't teach cursive in school no more, because all the important documents are in cursive.
Lies. It's all lies. I'm trying to I can't sound like her. We all know what she's talking about. But I'm like, man, what the fuck? Yeah, real talk, man. So that shit, that pork shit, that's how they get you. And you're right, Bishop. Ain't nobody trying to read all 72 pages of that bullshit, but that's why they do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? But you know
whose fault it is.
Like I said, they only put
it's his fault.
Small pieces up front.
Wait, I can't hear nobody.
like in Ohio, before I came down here to the great fucked up state of Florida. When I was in Ohio, every year they used to do a levy increase, okay, and it would come to a vote, and you know, like the levy increase was basically it was like 1%, 2%, or whatever added to your taxes if you own a home or whatever to fund whatever that they had going on. But they did it every year though.
Yeah.
You would think like, okay, so I voted yeah on this last year. It went up 1%. Now this year they want to go up 3%. So they didn't get enough money last year when I voted for this. And then started looking at it, looking at the actual bill itself. It wasn't just the levy for this. And they would always say it's for the schools. It's for the schools. That's what they always said. The levy for the schools, put a 1% tax on homeowners, and this money went to the schools. But then when you looked at the bill, it was 7 other damn things that it was going to. The schools was only getting this amount. Everybody else was getting this amount. You know what I mean? So the schools actually got less. And then you wonder why half these kids run around and don't know shit. Because you making bills to say that you funded these kids, but you ain't teaching these kids shit because you ain't getting no money for these kids actually. You're getting money for everything else that you want to deal with, and you're using the kids for people to agree to that shit.
Facts. Look, that ain't nothing but the gospel. I'll tell you, you know, so I would almost prefer, okay, I'll use the state of Virginia as an example. Virginia is going to get in your ass, but they do it up front. And for the most part, that's sort of like the Virginia way, the old Dominion, they call it. But so what happens with Virginia is like this. Y'all know where we live, if you buy a car, you own the car. Now, when if the car is $1,000, just to use simple numbers, the car is $1,000, you buy a car, $1,000. And then on $1,000, you got to pay about 7% tax on it. So you pay another $70 in taxes. You buy the car, you pay your taxes, you own the car. In Florida, that's my car. I paid for it, I own it. In Virginia, well, you buy your car and you pay your taxes. It's $70, whatever, you pay your taxes. Then to prove that you paid your taxes, you got to go get a city sticker for that city that you live in, or the county, you know, sometimes both, city, county, sticker. You got a sticker, you got to put that on the front of your car to show that you paid your taxes for the car that you bought. And now you got your car, you can drive it, and you also you got to have an inspection sticker to show that that car was inspected to make sure that it's safe. So you got an inspection sticker. Then you got your car and you're happy. But guess what? A year later, did you pay your taxes? Yes, I did when I bought the car. Oh no, for this year. Guess what? You got to pay taxes again on the same car that you already bought the next year, and the year after that, and so on and so on and so on.
And they claim it's for the roadway.
Yeah. And look, I don't give a damn whether you got a moped, a motorcycle, a car, a motherfucking scooter, a fucking skateboard, a bicycle. If you put a tag on that bitch and put it on the road, you pay taxes. The taxes you paid when you bought it, you pay them taxes every single year. So that's Virginia. Now in Florida, we don't have it like that, but they will get your ass in other ways. In Virginia, you're going to pay up front. You pay it once and you keep it moving. But so people go, how the hell is Florida? Because like Florida right now, they were talking about this on the news a couple of 3 different times this week. Florida has the highest rate of inflation in the entire United States of America, surpassing Manhattan. In New York, it surpassed Manhattan and Los Angeles, including Beverly Hills and Bel Air. I'm like, how the hell is Tampa, Florida, has a higher rate of inflation than anywhere in the country? Well, we're a very, very red state run by a crazy ass dictator motherfucker right now. But it's been
who got rid of half the population.
Say what?
Who got rid of half the population?
Yeah, Yeah. Well, pretty much, because now we don't have the doggone migrants and the Mexicans and whatnot paying that dough. So somebody's got to pay it. So, and literally, like this year, we went from I think we were number 26. So we went from number 26 to number 1 in 8 months. The fuck? Come on now. I'm like, anyway, I digress. But my point is, though, is that that money thing, as it relates to those bills in Virginia, they say, hey, we're going to fuck you right here, right now. And here's what it is. In Florida, we're going to fuck you 50 different ways from Sunday. And half of it you ain't going to know because your ass voted for a certain party and didn't pay attention to the pork.
Right.
That's why so many Muslims are getting out of this state.
I'll tell you the funny thing about being down here. Now, it's funny because when you live up north or in the Midwest, everybody want to come south for vacation. Everybody want to come to Florida for vacation.
Yeah.
And then the ones who live in Florida want to go up north to the mountains where I'm from.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Now,
tell your people I'll trade right now.
Now, when you come down here and then they decide like, oh, you know what? I'm going to move to Florida. But guess what? I'm one of them too. I decided, yeah, you know what? I want to go to Florida because I work down here, whatever. Yeah, it's a nice place. And, all this other stuff going on. Yeah, move to Florida. We come down to Florida and everything is high as fuck. Okay. Everything's high as fuck. Yep. Now, I'm going to give you an example. You sit here. You can buy a house in Florida that's 900 square feet. 900 square feet, okay? That's a crack house, okay?
Yeah.
So you can touch every wall in that house by making 3 steps. You can touch every wall in the fucking house. They want $95,000 for this 900 square feet house. You can go north. And you can go to Ohio or Michigan or Kentucky or anywhere up in the Midwest, and you can get a 2,500 square feet house that got every damn thing you want, a pool and the whole shit for the same amount.
Yep.
But everybody still moves here, though.
Yeah.
They move here and they knowing that they paying double of everything that from where you came from. And then once you get here, guess what? You ain't going to the beach. Because everybody else go to the beach. You don't went so many times, you don't even give a fuck about the beach. You don't give a fuck about Disney. You don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Because when you go to Disney, even though you live in the state, you're still paying $200 a head to go there. So ain't nobody going. That's tourist shit. When you come here and actually live here, don't nobody do shit. They come outside. They don't even come outside and hang out. They don't have barbecues. They don't have shit. Because it's hot as fuck. Ain't nobody coming out here.
My broke ass came down there and I stayed outside the majority of the time.
Yeah, you did.
Charles, when you came to my house and stayed, did you see the neighbors?
No. I seen them little badass kids.
Right on at nighttime. That's the only time these motherfuckers even home. You don't see nobody. Don't nobody fuck around. If you live here, you go to work, you bring your ass home. It's the tourists that run around and do the shit. We don't do shit. We just
speaking of which,
ass shit. We ass bills. That's what we do.
I gotta ask.
No, that's facts.
Hang on, I gotta ask before I forget. Is the light in the abandoned house still turning on and off?
Fuck yeah, they still
bro. So look, I'm down there, right?
That's the ghost. That's the ghost.
We outside, and we look over, and he told us this house was abandoned. So me and Red's looking over, and I see the light on in the living room. I'm like, yo, I thought that house was abandoned. She was like, that's what he said. So I go over there and I tell him, I'm like, yo, bro, look, that light's on over there. He goes, that light ain't on over there. Don't nobody live there. He looks over there. He sees that light on. He said, well, shit, they better stay over there. Don't come over here fucking with me.
Yo, but man, ever since you left here, that light been on over there every night. Now, you've seen that spot. You got weeds this high. It's a whole pool in the back that looks like the fucking Everglades. I swear, I'm telling you, it's a fucking
that's swamp water.
Anaconda, something living in that fucking water back there. I'm telling you, grass is up damn high. and they got the light on in there. Somebody standing there, bitch. I don't know whether they use the squatters' rights or whatever over there, but they can at least cut the fucking grass over there. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna be there, hook it up a little something.
But the other pool next door was crystal clear, nice, all that. This one over here that he's talking about, broken fence and abandoned pool looking like the swamp. They got ripped curtains and blinds and everything. It don't look like nobody lives there. Even got building materials sitting there and like nothing.
Oh shit. Hey y'all, let's check out this one more video. This is also the video from last week. This dude right here just cracked me up because he brought up that Mississippi thing about the chair, but let's take a look at this one right quick too.
Florida today and what had happened 9 hours ago. And before we do get into this video, I just want to say, don't make us bring them folding chairs back out. Fuck around and find out. Let's get into this review.
This is live footage. We got Nazis in Altamont Springs, Florida. Wow. This is unbelievable.
I'm just going to say it like this. Find somebody else to play with. Because y'all ain't trying to play that. Look, listen. This is not back in the day. We is not here to play. We is not here to play. We is not here to play. Some straight lunatics and thugs. Why do y'all raise y'all children to be this way? Hatred. But anyway, I know a lot of people with a lot of anger that they would love to get out. Just come to the right areas, man. You're going to fuck around and find out. You like that?
Yeah, I'm with that. I like the way he said that.
It's sad that they just letting that happen. Like, ain't nobody trying to stop it, nothing. But yet, whenever, there's peaceful protests for something positive going on, police bust up in there and want to run everybody off, injure people, all kinds of stuff, and then blame them because they was being peaceful, but spreading a positive message. But yet the negative messages, nothing's ever looked at.
So last year, the governor did a executive order of what he called the mob bill. The mob bill is that if you are doing a protest, and because remember when all the people were protesting that year because of George Floyd and that whole thing, and we didn't really have those issues in Florida, but DeSantis said, "Oh, well, we're not going to have that here, and these people here that are doing this, even though nobody here was doing it." He said, we're going to make a mob bill. So that means if there's a protest and one person does anything, you spit on the sidewalk, if you do something bad, like let's say you argue with a cop, you hit a cop, and you, what do they call it? Resist arrest. Well, if that one person resists arrest, everybody there is charged with resisting arrest. Now it's being challenged because it's unconstitutional. That's the argument by the lawyers and stuff. But anybody does anything, you can charge everybody in the group with doing that one thing. And the idea was to scare any Black Lives Matter or anybody. If you're protesting against something that the governor likes, we're gonna get you. But like Archbishop pointed out, when we did that show, what did you not see? That's what I told you. I love when you do that thing that you do. Like, what did you not see? What did they not say? He said, what did you not see? I was waiting. And he said, cops, the media. Well, actually, he said the media, you said the media, and then I said, yeah, no cops or something like that. One or the other. But long story short, you didn't see none of them. There was no cops. There was no media. There was no problem. Those dudes can go there and show their ass and do everything else and disrupt Disney, which we understand what the connection was there. But guess what? No problem. So what you're saying? Oh yeah, they ain't gonna have no problems because they out there on that bullshit. But the governor's cool with it, so no problem. You ain't gonna have no problem with that. Not from the governor, not from the police, not from the media. The media was probably
negativity brings views.
Yeah, who's talking about that shit that happened? We are. I ain't heard it on channel 13, 10, 8, or 6, or divide by 2, or nothing else. You ain't hearing it. Right. We're the ones talking about it.
I mean, but here's the thing though. The police was there. They were there.
Oh, yeah. They were waving flags.
Right, exactly. Them the motherfuckers that were lined up there. That's why when nobody but they was over there.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, let's just keep the shit funky for real. You know what I mean? And I think people would actually understand more if you were just straight up fucking truthful about it.
Yeah,
you know?
So, straight up.
And so like my uncle always said, you know, don't be a dickhead. You know what I mean? He's called people dickheads all the time. Don't be a dickhead. If you're gonna be a dickhead, be a whole dick. Don't be a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, don't be half-assed about the shit. If you don't like the shit, just say you don't fucking like the shit, just be done with it. Don't half-ass do the shit. You know what I mean? Don't be cool on Monday and fucked up on Friday. You know what I mean? Don't have, you know, like, okay, like you kumbaya with everybody in the world, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, you hate everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then Monday, you right back, you know what I mean? Or you one of them motherfuckers that say that you only got, you know, I only got one black friend or whatever, you know. Or when you hold a conversation and you say, oh, well, you know what I mean? Me and Sonny went down to the store. By the way, he black. Like you gotta point that shit out. Let a motherfucker know, like, okay, like you do have at least one motherfucker, you know what I mean, that you fuck with. Stop doing
right.
You know what I mean? Like up north, I heard that shit all the time. People used to say, well, you know, me and my buddy went down to the store. By the way, he black. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Why you had to qualify it? You know?
Fuck. You know what I mean? He could be a god. He could be the fucking Kung Fu Panda. As far as I give a fuck. You know what I mean? Just tell the goddamn story. You know
right.
I mean? But
hey, so Deuce said the Mob Act, which that's what they were calling it, or what the governor calls it. The Mob Act is that the Mostly Outlawing Blacks Act, which pretty much that's what it is. Then Deuce said, I've heard a bunch of news from Augusta, Richmond County, Georgia, only a few times that 33 officers have been arrested in the last 3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Then now Jay said at Big Bone, he goes, that mass mob law sounds like bad form of a baby yeah, pretty much. He said it's a bad form of a baby RICO enforcement, makes it easy to hit any organized body with crimes without evidence. And that, sir, is exactly, that's a fact. And that's why you got so many different groups. You got the freaking all these lawyers, all these defense attorneys in Florida, their heads exploded all at the same time because they're like, that shit's unconstitutional. But they got the AFL-CIO and a whole bunch of other organizations saying, how the hell are you going to charge me? I showed up because whatever. I showed up because they were protesting the burning of a church, and somebody got into a fight with a cop. The guy hit the cop, and now I'm getting arrested for hitting the cop, and I didn't even know the motherfucker that hit the cop because I just got here 20 minutes ago. And yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well, they do the same shit to us as bikers.
Oh yeah. Facts.
You know, before I ever put on any kind of rags or anything, being out on a bike solo, some dude could come flying past you. All of a sudden, you getting pulled over. Well, who was that dude? I don't know that guy. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to charge you if you don't get that guy back here. Well, then go ahead and charge me, because guess what? I'm going to fight it in court because I never even met that dude a day in my life.
I have had that happen.
It's because I'm on a bike, I automatically get stopped.
Dude, I've had that happen in Clearwater, Florida, where somebody, and I've had that happen in my benefit before in Clearwater, Florida as well. You know, somebody's doing something. You know, I had a buddy of mine named Donald Duck. Donald Duck was doing some stuff, and Donald Duck, when they whoop whoop like that, Donald Duck, you know, he was riding dirty, so he had a beautiful Hayabusa, and he was on a sport bike. Wow, dude, popped the wheelie, rode right past the cop that lit him up, and right past the cop that was in front of him. Looked over, gave him the middle finger, and got it. That was pretty as shit. And I thought that was great right up until they lit my ass up and boxed me. That shit wasn't so great no more. And they said, who's your buddy? Who's your friend? I'm like, I don't know that, man. He was wearing the same thing. He was wearing the same vest. I'm like, yeah, I got this off of eBay. They're very popular now, sir. So I'm like, I don't have no good answers for this dude. But dude, the way they tell it, I was getting ready to go to Leavenworth and do 40 years. And look, it's Florida, so it's about 8,000 degrees outside, and I'm wearing a leather vest. But they had me believing for a minute that I was going up the road. I was going to Shawshank behind that shit. But fortunately, they didn't actually lock me up or nothing like that. But it's happened a couple of times where they want to make you believe if you don't tell them who that motherfucker was, know him or not. How is that legal? I don't know. But cops are legally allowed to lie to you. So there is that.
Look, with me, there's always a 50% chance. So the second I see them lights, I'm automatically telling Red, like, look, I love you. Goodbye. Hopefully we got some bond money because I don't know if I'm going home or not. But I pray every time I do because I'm not as bad as they make me out to seem. I always beat my charges.
What you got to do is you got to
still like fucking with people.
Look, what you got to do, get some bond money. Keep it in a certain place in the house. So if anything happens, just tell just tell your old lady where that bond money is. That's what it's there for. Because if you out here doing biker shit, there will be a time when she's gonna need to go and get that money. That money is not for eBay. It is not for Amazon. That's to get your ass or your semi-black ass out of lockup when you go to do whatever you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you got to do that. That's biker 101 right there.
Bro, I've cussed her out in front of the police before because we got out there. She didn't know you could say, no, you're not searching my vehicle. So they done pulled me out, and we got like 6 squad cars behind us for a tail light. All of a sudden, I'm standing there. She gets out the damn car. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, they said that you said that they could search the car. I ain't say nothing. No, y'all ain't searching nothing. The car ain't in my name. I ain't giving you permission. Oh, well, it's in her name. She gave us permission. I'm like, you dumbass. You don't ever let them do that stuff. No. So now, look, we got pulled over again. Later on, she was driving. And they said, look, man, we need to search your vehicle. She said, no, you don't. I ain't letting you search nothing.
That part.
And she's like, they was like, we got probable cause. We smell something. No, you don't. We ain't smoked nothing.
Right.
So, no, I know that's a lie. She was like, I'm going home. I'm getting my kids into bed. So if that's all, y'all have a good evening. And she's just started to drive off. I was like, yeah, I wish I could do that shit. They would have fucking shot me.
Hey, good point. So a couple of things. One, so Jay just said, Big Bone, I still carry a set of those lawyer business cards you spoke about. Give it and be quiet. Yes, sir. So we keep those. We have a document holder, which keeps your driver's license, your insurance card, if you're required to have it in your state, and the lawyer's business card, your registration, all of that. You keep those in, and I don't have one right in front of me, but you keep those document holders and you keep them in your pocket. Like if you're on your bike, keep it in your pocket, not in the saddle bag, not in the tour pack. And God forbid something happen, boom, here you go, officer. Careful, 2 fingers, boom, here you go. You hand it to him. There's no probable cause for him to look in your saddlebags or to search your anything.
Keep your bag locked.
Yes.
If it's locked, they need a warrant.
Right. Keep them locked. But keep that shit, boom, right there. Even if you need to make a copy of your driver's license and put the rest of that shit in there, keep it in your pocket right here. So boom, here you go, officer. So now there's no reason to shoot you because they thought you was doing something funny. They didn't all of a sudden see something that they can plant some evidence on you or see something that maybe they don't need to see anyway. But guess what? It will make your life so much easier. So Jay, good point. Speaking of which, I got a bunch more of those in from the COC. So if somebody needs them, the address, y'all hit us up. We'll make sure you get some of those. We got a bunch of them, so we can send out a few of them to anybody that needs them. Let us know if you needed some from before we didn't get. Just let us know. We will get those to you. The other thing was actually we only got a few more minutes, I guess. But I wanted to ask you, Frost, in regard to the media, why or do you think that this is a media a media entity now, the Big Boneyard, or is it not? If so, why? If not, why?
Yes and no. So the Big Boneyard is a show with a lot of great content, with real bikers talking real biker shit, real men talking real men shit, everything personal experience. It's not really filtered like that. It is an adult show. We do the disclaimer beforehand. But yes, there is, the news or the subjects or all that, but that's day-to-day stuff. Now, what I believe that you guys are doing for the most part, like I keep telling you guys 1,000 times, I'll keep saying it. You're using your voices. You were given voices and you're using them. Now, that right there, in a good way, like it needs to be, a positive message, an informative way, and being able to break it down the way that you guys break it down for everybody, that's a good thing. So it's both a yes and a no, because yes, you do have the media kind of source to it, but there's other content about real biker shit. And I see some channels, they do only biker stuff. Other channels, they do only media stuff. Some channels will do the biker media stuff and completely leave out all the day-to-day stuff that, gets said on here. The roundtables, for example, you never know where that's going to go. You never know where the show's going to go because, like you said previously in part 1, y'all don't even know what the show's about until it's time for the show. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, yo, what time's the show, or what's the show going to be about, or whatever. I've already got people blowing me up asking me what's going on with the show. And y'all's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, look, one of y'all got to know. I can't do this. So that's what keeps the content fresh, just so everyone knows. It's because no one knows what's going on. This isn't scripted. This isn't anything that's written down a day ahead of time. When they say they don't know what's going on, they don't know what's going on. They're just going off the top of their head as they're going through these different subjects that you guys bring up or happens to be spotted. So by the way, it's always great.
That's a big one. That's why I know we love hearing from the boneheads, because y'all are the ones that tell us. I don't know if some of y'all done figure this out already, but the boneheads are the one that kind of set the pace for us a little something. We hear from y'all and y'all tell us, here's what I want to hear about. Here's what I wanted to ask you about. Speaking of which, one of our favorite folks is calling us right now. Stand by. Let's see. Hey, hello, and thank you for calling the Big Boneyard. You got Frost, Big Bone, and Archbishop. And who's calling? I know who it is, but I got to ask anyway.
What's going on? What's going on, Big Dog, Big Bone? It's Kenyatta, man. What's going on, Archbishop? What's going on? Big Dog Frost, what's going on? Real quick, hey, man, great shows tonight, guys. I've been watching in the background. Excuse the seatbelt alarm in the background. I'm going to get off the phone. It's driving me crazy. I know it's driving y'all crazy. So I'm gonna hurry up. But have you all considered possibly, you guys are very busy guys. We're all busy. I get it. No problem. But have you guys considered like a backup? Like some co-hosts, like when you guys get, busy or whatever like that, and you can't do the show, maybe some guys that can, like, two guys that you guys know that maybe, be like backup co-hosts or something like that, can do a show or something like that. I don't know, just to kind of keep it going, just so you can have a show coming out every week. Maybe
I think he's saying he missed you while you was sick.
Like that.
Yeah, we've actually. No, we talked about it. No, you're hitting on something. And this is kind of what I was just saying, as far as, we get a lot of our ideas and so forth from hearing from boneheads who are like, hey, what about this? What about that? What about the other thing? So, yeah, we've definitely talked about it. And that might be a thing. Archbishop loves the idea, but he don't like Frost very much. And he said, yeah, the problem with Frost. And
see, that's why when we did the movie, Bishop, I was told, that Bishop said, yo, look, you can't give him any more than one line because he might go overboard. And we found out in auditions that he don't know how to pretend punch somebody, so we can't have him doing that either.
Yeah. I think I remember something like that. And I said, what about Kenyatta? And then Frost was like, man, fuck Kenyatta, fuck Kenyatta. I was like, man, please don't. I said, Frost, if you could not use that kind of language, because I wasn't raised that way, but Frost that's how he feels. I can't control him because that's how he be doing. But
I'm a hater like
that's
that.
something to really consider, man. And we'll definitely chop it up about that. And we're gonna talk to you in a little bit anyway. So yeah, man.
Yes, sir. One more thing. The merch. I mean, are you? I mean, what's the? Are you guys? You still getting that together as far as the merch? Because I'm still kind of got the ad for it kind of waiting in the wings. I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with that. Are you got because the young lady that you guys know, she keeps sending me pictures of stuff that she makes for you guys, and I don't know if it's okay for me to go ahead and post ads for it, or I don't know like what's going on with that. I mean, you guys still working on that as far as the merch is concerned, or
we are gonna get to it. It was one of those things where life just got in the way. But
yeah, absolutely, right.
Yeah, but we definitely want to get to all of those sort of things because honestly, it's been it's been a whirlwind kind of a year, and I think we're just now getting much just miscellaneous stuff that we can't talk about on air, but we're getting certain things squared away now. So we're looking in the direction that we're in right now over the next few months, or probably over the next couple of months. We're going to get a lot of really good shit popping. Merch included, for sure with merch.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'll just check in with Frost every now and then. He said he'll keep it updated, so I'll check in with Frost. I don't think I was supposed to even bring it up. My bad. I should have brought it up on air, but it just slipped out. But I appreciate you guys, man. Let me get off because, like I said, I know this is still a long driving y'all crazy. But hey, great shows tonight. Thank you guys once again, as always, for doing the show, man. Learning a lot. I'm gonna keep watching.
Right on. Hey, folks. Hey, thank you, brother. Hey, folks. That was Kenyatta, man, and that's that dude who he runs the fan site, and he's just a hell of a good supporter, man. So yeah. Hey, Kenyatta, anytime, man.
You notice how he knew I was the one that keeps on you about everything.
I hear you. Shit. Damn, right. I just saw myself in the thing.
I know what I was supposed to say last
like that.
I'm snitching, but I ain't snitching.
Look, he's admitting to the line.
I ain't mean to tell it, but if I did.
Yo, it's weird. I don't usually look at myself on this thing, but just then I saw me hit one of those Stevie Wonders. I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know. Is that something that blind people do? Because I just recently learned I can't see shit.
No, yeah.
Hey, we had somebody calling y'all beard twins in the other comments earlier.
Oh yeah, wait, that was last week, wasn't it?
It was last week too, but they was doing it over on Hollywood's channel too.
Oh, for real? Oh, damn, we got it this week too.
I've been sick of those.
I know, right? I got the Fu Manchu joint. I got the V shit.
You got the little bit of black in the center, Bone.
That little black right here in the middle, though. We do got that little.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, we both got it. Oh shit. All right. Shit. Like, well, I tell y'all what, man. I think this has been a hell of a good day. I had a great time with Hollywood and them, and even though doggone, what's the name? Damn, what's her name? China Doll. Even though China Doll is funny acting and don't like people, it was kind of good to see China Doll, hear from her, and the asshole who was that ML that made that. Fuck you for saying that fucked up shit that you said, but no, I think we done had a good show tonight, and
I think we need to give China Doll an honorary folding chair just because,
Hey, I think that might. All right, we gotta get her. Hey, look, Miami showed me something crazy. They have some earrings. I bullshit you not. Earrings that are the folding chair earrings.
Red just said they got keychains, and I seen some phone holders the other day. At the Dollar Tree, they got the folding chair phone holders. I seen an ad on Facebook about it. I was like, what the hell?
I'm going look when we get old, I'm gonna tell my grandchildren, yeah, these are what they call door knocker earrings. They were real popular in the 80s.
Now you see how that took hold. You know what I mean? We been hitting motherfucking folding chairs for years. Ain't nobody hitting. You see what I'm saying?
That's yet again The millennials thinking that they just came up with some shit.
Look, the chief
with chairs.
Look, Chief Wahoo McDaniel and the Junkyard Dog, and what's his name? The dude that used Jimmy Snooker. They used to always hit people with folding chairs. Now these folks got to get credit for the folding chair. What about the WWF? That was before the WWE. What is it?
Look, they had tables, chairs, everything, liquor bottles, beer cans.
Now, but yeah, they got a whole earring set and the whole thing. But yo, I tell y'all what, if we can, I'm gonna just bow out gracefully and tell y'all I think we've had a hell of a good night, Boneheads. We absolutely love and appreciate y'all for being here with us. And so yeah, I guess we media. Well, let me, Archbishop, you tell us, media or not media? What the hell are we?
Like I said before, we're not media. We're just realists. You know what I mean? And we speaking the truth. You know what I mean? And speaking your truth is simply being able to express your boundaries, desires, needs, and values in an honest, gracious way.
Right on.
It comes from the heart. It comes from your heart space. You know, so, and if you're really true about what it is that you're talking about, it makes more sense to the people that's hearing it.
Yeah.
There's between hearing what I'm saying and listening to what I'm saying. You're hearing what I'm going in one ear and out the other. You listening, that means you comprehend it. You know what I mean? So that's what we do here. You know what I mean? We say the stuff and we put the stuff out there hoping that people actually listen to what it is that we say and be able to use it for their own however way they want to use it. You know what I mean? And that's what we try to push out here. You know what I mean? So like I said, for everybody that stayed around and don't watch this for both shows, you know what I mean? I appreciate it. And Jay, I know you still sitting there watching, and I seen the post when you was talking about Michigan and Ohio State. So I'm gonna say this. I just want to let you know I seen it.
You seen it. I was trying to hit the damn button. I was trying to hit the button on that one. Oh shit.
He just had a really good comment. I tried to put it up, but I ain't got the thing yet.
What did he say?
He said, "You guys aren't media. Your opinions are too real world for that, and you're not paid for political propaganda."
Oh wow. All right. Who said that?
Jay.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's what's up, Jay. I mean, that's facts. All right. Wait. Jay said, Semper Fi, Big Bone, Archbishop, hope to see you out there riding in Polk County. Yes, sir. Soon. Much love and respect. Weather will be getting cooler and the rain a little less. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, well, shit. Well, we gonna be pounding it. Yeah, shit. You know, the weather, unfortunately, don't really stop us from doing the shit that we got to do. Sassy said, you're already older, mister. And Miami said, I'm gonna get you a set of door knocker earrings. Hell yeah.
I already got them on my card.
And Jay said, go blue.
Say what?
Jay said, go blue.
Go blue. Right on. But yo, and let's see. What's this? Phoenix said, love your show. I've learned so much. Thank you. And look, we appreciate you and thank you so much for watching this thing. And look, we all we got. That's that dude said in the movie. But no, look, we appreciate everybody rocking and riding with us on this big boneyard thing. Frost, what say you? Now you said that you wouldn't make a decision, media or not media. So we don't even need to talk to you no more. We should probably ask Red. Ask Red, are we media or not media?
I say no.
She said no.
Ain't nobody believe in Red. Red be just.
She said she agrees with Sassy. You're just bullshitters.
All right, fair enough. Deuce said you're definitely media, more on the opinion / editorial side than the news side of the media, much like most news TV channels. Okay, all right, well, that's one. Let's see. Jay said you guys aren't media. Your opinions are too. Okay, that's what you were saying earlier. Too real world for that, and you're not paid for political propaganda. All right, that's what's up. Okay, and Sassy said, Jay said go blue. He did say go blue. He said that. Miss Laura Sanders said, tell the truth, son. That's what's up. All right. She said, you said, tell me about what? Oh, I think that's OHNO. Is that, was he trying to say Ohio?
He's saying, oh no, instead of Ohio.
No. Oh no, instead of. All right. Well, yo, I tell y'all what, we appreciate y'all spending time with us tonight. We will definitely be doing this joint again in another 7 days. But on behalf of myself, Archbishop, and Frost, we appreciate y'all being with us, rocking with us tonight. And we're going to see y'all again in about a whole, Frost, I can't do math. How many days, sir?
7, unless we get some stuff straight and we start doing shorts.
But do y'all believe him, though? Maybe. All right. I don't know. He might, because, Frost be saying shit sometimes. But anyway, I guess we're going to do it in 7 days.
Let's ask the chat. I bet they want to see some shorts, too.
All right, shorts. Okay, we need to do some shorts. In the meantime, love and respect, y'all. We're going to see y'all in 7 days.
Welcome to the Big Bone Yard. Enter at your own risk.
Pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.